Hello everyone, John12 back here again with another video, and today I bring you once again another addition to my segment, making a Dragon Ball live-action franchise. Yes, it's been a pretty decently long time since I did the last one, which I think was maybe over a month ago, so I thought might as well just start recording another one. And seeing as how I've pretty much has run the course on this whole situation, and not to mention I'm starting my Dragon Ball podcast, it just feels like this has finally run its course. So just warning everyone now who has enjoyed my segments, specifically my Dragon Ball live action segments. It will be ending and it will be coming to a close. Yes. It was always my intention to make this quite short. Like, when I first started, I thought, like, oh, okay, well, maybe it would be cool to, like, have this be, like, an ongoing thing that I talk about. But, it's just been something that I've been doing for practically this, I don't even know how long, like, a freaking extremely, a little way too long, to tell you the truth. Like, I think I've been doing it for almost, like, half a year already. So, I don't know. It's been fun, I mean, I like doing this shit, and there's been tons of content out there to bring over here to be like, okay, well, this is how it could be, this is how it should be, this is what it should possibly be, and then all of you guys agree with me, well, may or may not agree with me, but then, there's just tons of DBZ fans and just overall Dragon Ball fans who do believe that Dragon Ball as a franchise definitely deserves its dues in the cinematic universe, if you will. It definitely needs to be on the big silver screen, and we have reached milestones in this franchise, I mean, like last year, not last year, but like not too long ago, Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods was in theaters. We got the new Xenoverse movie coming out. Later next year, we're going to have the newest DBZ movie coming out. There's always going to be milestones with Dragon Ball's popularity with us and also new fans. So, like, it's always going to be what it could be, but it's always good to push the envelope. You have to you can't just have everything be the same forever. You have to continuously take it up a notch. And just because it's done doesn't mean that you can't keep doing stuff. I mean, like Toriyama himself, who is like pretty much X this whole situation away from him in the franchise, he's still doing the shit. He's still making a movie, and whether or not he does that, he continues to do that is just awesome in and of itself. And plus, you just gotta keep doing stuff. You gotta keep trying to do these type of things. And I don't know. I'm a humongous movie buff, as you all know. I love movies. I love Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball Z. I love the anime. I love the manga. And I just believe that there's a future in it where it can just be another milestone. You can just have it be the next, Marvel movie. It's just that level of popularity is there. It just needs the right development team, the right amount of money budget, and all the perks that comes with a big Hollywood picture. So that's just my personal opinion, but let's get right down into it. Enough of my rambling. The first thing I want to talk about is the use of the women in Dragon Ball. Yes, in the franchise, specifically in the movie business, for an American audience, you always have to have, a good amount of your action, your epic scenarios, the great comedy that it has, but then you have to always have the romance in there. You always get, even though Dragon Ball Z is not all about romance, it has its perks here and there throughout the series. And then, not to mention, you have to think about it. Okay, well, what are other people going to want? Okay, this is going to appeal to the guys. This is going to appeal to the kids. This is going to appeal to the hardcore fans. But what about the women? And not only just the women, but the non-hardcore DBZ women fans. So you have to try and appeal to them of what they're going to like. Okay, you have the really good-looking, guys who are playing, your Gokus, your Vegetas, and your Piccolos and shit. But then you gotta have characters that they can relate with, and how many are there? How many? There's only Bulma, who realistically doesn't have a lot to do, you know? I mean, and that's in terms if you're doing Saiyan Saga. Obviously, I'm speaking for Saiyan Saga. If you start a Dragon Ball, then you got a lot of room to do stuff. You have Bulma, you have Goku, that's the essential, like, team of, like, where you can go. And then you have other characters like Launch, and then the introduction of Chichi, and not to mention any other type of, like, woman you can add there, just to add there. But when it comes to DBZ, it's harder to do that because it's more guy-oriented. You have a bunch of dudes beating the shit out of each other, doing a lot of hardcore, awesome stuff. And that's all cool and awesome, but then you have the girls. What are they going to do? Launch and Saiyan Saga pretty much has nothing to do. Chichi, at this point in time, does nothing but yell at everybody. And Bulma, even though she still does stuff, she doesn't really get to do anything until the Namek Saga. So you have to fucking try and do something. So, like, a couple years back, when I was still doing screenplays for this type of shit, fan screenplays, if you will, because obviously I didn't get paid for anything, but I really wanted to have Chichi be there at the Saiyan Saga. Like, when you rewatch the Saiyan Saga, Chichi has pretty much nothing to do with there. She doesn't really do anything. She's only in one sequence, and then you don't see her again until after Goku dies. So, and then after that, she doesn't really have anything else to do anyways, because Gohan's gone training with Piccolo. So, you have this whole scenario of, like, missed opportunity to have a woman attraction with Goku. And of course, this is in the context of a live-action franchise. So I was thinking, like, okay, well, Raditz comes in to take Gohan. What if Chichi was there? What if it wasn't just the gang, the OG gang, the Z gang, but it was also Chichi was there? So, and maybe she gets abducted by Raditz too. Raditz takes Goku's entire family. That's just a scenario I came up with a couple years back, and I just wanted to put it out there and just be like, I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it. Like, if you wanted to see a DBZ franchise on the big screen, live action wise, rather, and you wanted to have, you know, women that you like, or women that you know, have in your personal life to be like, okay, they can be into this more than just like, oh, well, that's Goku. It's like, well, you don't like Goku? It's like, of course you don't fucking care about Goku. She gave two shits about Goku. You need to have something that she can relate to a character, you know. And there's Bulma, but then she doesn't do shit until Namek Saga. So you have to have something there. Okay, well, who else you got? You got Chichi. She gets stolen along with Gohan. So then you have that. But then again, of course, that's just an opinion. That's just a generalized opinion because, of course, the hardcore DB fans are going to be like, oh, dude, what are you talking about? That's stupid. That doesn't make sense. And I'm going to comment and say you suck. Because you know what? In the manga, Raditz takes Gohan and Chi-Chi's nowhere to be seen. I get it, dude. I get it. But we're talking in the context of a live-action franchise, which has to be different from the manga and anime. You can take from the source material, you can be inspired, you can be influenced, you can do occasionally a shot-for-shot of the manga from the source material, but you have to change things up a bit, because my problem with a live-action franchise is that I want to surprise the audience. Even the hardcore audience. Like, when the hardcore audience is in the seats and they're watching a live-action franchise of the Dragon Ball universe, I want them to be like, oh shit, is Vegeta gonna transform to a Super Saiyan? Is he gonna do it? Oh fuck, he's gonna say it, and then boom, it happens. I want them to be surprised when it happens, you know. I want you, that's what you gotta do when you're doing the movies. You gotta fucking make everyone applaud the second it happens, you know. Whenever a character reaches a milestone in the series, in their development, you have to have that milestone where the audience is going to have to applause, cheer, or be completely surprised at what happens. That's why you have to do some drastic things. Now, I'm not saying you should do extremely drastic things like what Dragon Ball Evolution did, where they just completely said, fuck the source material. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, you know, just make a surprise here and there, so people could be like, when they leave the movie theater, they're gonna be like, oh fuck, I knew it, but then I didn't know it. You know, you have to say that when you're going into it. That's what I personally think. And also, like, to attract a women audience, Launch too. Why not bring Launch into the Saiyan Saga? Launch doesn't have anything to do with pretty much the entire Dragon Ball Z franchise. She has nothing to do in that series. So I thought to have more of an affectionate woman audience is to bring her along, and of course she is the love interest to Tien Shinhan anyway, so why not just have her be there along with Bulma and Chichi, so when their significant others die in the story, it's terrible for them. You know, the same way Bulma feels when Yamcha dies, we can have Launch be there as well, and she feels the same way about Tien and Chiaotzu. It's fucking terrible experience for all of them. That's how I personally feel. But then, people, we're going to 180 that, and we're going to go right into Dragon Ball, where you already have that shit. You already have Bulma, and she's your main protagonist, along with Goku, you know? So you're going to have an audience with that, and that's what I kind of prefer anyways, but then again, it gets tricky, because every hardcore Dragon Ball fan is going to be like, you can go fantastical, you can go shot for shot the anime or manga, but then again, when you think about it, you really can't. You really can't do anything from Dragon Ball. You want to know why, people? Because there's a lot of perverted nudity in Dragon Ball. Yes, anime is mostly known for pushing the envelope when it comes to sex and violence, but mostly sex, but mostly underage sexual content, so you have to really fucking count your numbers here. It's kind of like the Deadpool movie that's coming up. Everybody wants it to be rated R, but Marvel's not going to do rated R shit. They fucking have a success with PG-13, so obviously it makes sense. So you have to think of that in Dragon Ball terms. And you would think, personally, as a hardcore Dragon Ball fan, sitting at home listening to my bitch ass saying, like, John, what are you talking about? You're an idiot. Of course they can do Dragon Ball. Kinda. You just have to exit a lot of stuff. And before everybody gets pissed off at me, look at Dragon Ball. It's awesome. It's fantastical. The journey is amazing. The characters have awesome features. Everything about Dragon Ball is beautiful. It just screams awesome. Its comedic elements are great. The fighting is awesome. Everything about it is beautiful. But then it has this undertones of extreme perverted sexual content. Bulma and Goku pretty much get naked in Dragon Ball more times than you would want them to be. Like, seriously, I think in like the first episode, you see Goku get naked more than any time you see him getting naked in Dragon Ball Z. I'm telling you, it's that serious. And the same thing goes for Bulma. I mean, Bulma's flashing herself like almost all the time. I mean, like when she meets Goku, she flashes her fucking ass at him, trying to get the Dragon Balls. So it's kind of like, fuck, how do you approach this and let it be okay for people at home, especially families who you want to be at the audience, to be a part of the audience? They're not going to be cool with that shit. Obviously, the hardcore fans are going to be like, oh, that was awesome. But the families are not going to like that. They're going to be pissed off, and they're going to sue, and they're going to be bitching like crazy. They're going to be like, I don't want my kids to be watching this perverted nonsense. You know, it's just insanity. And you have to really pull it back. You know, and it's a hard thing to do. That's why I say I prefer to go with Dragon Ball Z. As much as I love Dragon Ball and would love to see a live-action version of that, you can only do flashbacks of specific sequences. You can't do the whole enchilada, if you will, because you have characters who are super young, underage, mind you, who are getting naked on a daily basis. You know, Bulma flashes her pussy at Master Roshi. Goku gets naked and it's fighting fishes. You know, like there's a lot of crazy shit that's going on. So you have to really fix that type of shit. I don't know how you can do it. I mean, I've been trying to find a way. Like, how can you be Dragon Ball without destroying the continuity and the brilliance and comedic values of Dragon Ball, you know, without like having our underage actors, you know, flash their shit. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you at home are probably like, oh, well, just CGI this shit. I don't think that's a good way to go. I mean, like, a CG penis, is that okay? Like, I mean, like, it's one thing to show a baby's penis with the parents' consent, but it's another thing to show, like, a fucking 12-year-old kid's dick, like, hanging around while he's, like, doing martial arts. You're not fucking helping the situation, folks, with CGI penises. It's not gonna help. And, personally, I mean, Obama can possibly get away with it. Possibly, because at the most part, she's, I think, 17, 18 at the beginning of Dragon Ball, if I'm not mistaken, so maybe you can possibly get your actress to do the shit that Bulma does, but you would really have to fucking do some serious contracts, and I don't know about that, so that's why I mostly always encourage a DBZ movie, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? The fans want their service, and at the same time, you have to think realistically, folks. But nevertheless, I do love what they do, but we gotta fucking change the subject here. Anyways, let's move on to another thing I wanted to approach, which is the Great Ape Transformation. One of the biggest downfalls with Dragon Ball Evolution was the Great Ape Transformation, or the Uzaro transformation, if you will. The Great Ape is essential to not only Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball Z. I mean, like, the biggest fight between Goku and Vegeta is the Great Ape version. You have two situations where you have characters transforming to monsters. You have Vegeta, and then you have Gohan. And I think it's a good way to keep that because, one, you're just gonna get all the hits and whistles. You're gonna get all the bells and whistles with all the fans. You know, the hardcore fans are gonna love it. The monster fans are gonna love it. Lots of SVX people are gonna love this shit. It's gonna be so fucking badass. You know, like to have a giant like morphed King Kong on the fucking silver screen for a Dragon Ball movie. It's not even happening right now, and I'm fucking freaking out how awesome it is. So, you know, it's just really. It's really essential to have that. And plus, in Dragon Ball, you have to have it there, too, because Goku transforms majority of the time. You know, majority of the time that Goku is in Dragon Ball, he transforms a lot. You know, we see him transform against Master Roshi at the fucking Pilaf's castle. He transforms and kills Gohan, his grandfather. And, you know, he transforms a lot, and I think I've figured out how to bring that realistically into the movies. That I think I found a way. When you look at the Great Ape design, you would think, oh well, just do what Peter Jackson did and put a gorilla up there. Well, yeah, but then there's other elements of apes in there that you have to bring upon the movie. You know, you have to have one of the biggest templates that I would use, and this is something that I suggest all you special effects wizards out there on the internet should like keep in mind. You know, which reminds me, a lot of you motherfuckers like to do key blast, but I haven't seen someone pull off a Great Ape. So I suggest you listen. But anyways, I think one of the big things that you have to look at when you're approaching the transformation sequence is not only like the werewolf style of stuff, but also you have to research specific species of apes and monkeys. And one of the biggest ones that I would personally use as my template is baboons. When you look at a baboon, that's the Great Ape. Look into the eyes of a baboon. Those eyes are pitch red. They're all red. Their eyes just scream Great Ape. They have the same face. Just imagine just a gigantic, super tall Godzilla-like baboon. There you go. That's your fucking Great Ape transformation right there. I just help you guys out to realize what the fuck you're doing and not doing. But I know a lot of people would say, oh no, gorilla. Or no, I'll do what Peter Jackson did, the King Kong. Yeah, you could do that and keep that element of that, but also do baboons. You know, I've been researching apes a lot, and I've been specifically researching lots of baboons and how they do things and how they live their lives and how they interact with other baboons. And when I look at that, I just think, God, that's Saiyans. Those are fucking Saiyans. Those are the fucking Saiyans. When you look at Goku and Vegeta fight, it's like watching two apes bonk each other on the head. When you go on YouTube and put in gorilla fight or monkey fight or just an ape fight, that's Goku versus Vegeta right there. That's what I think you should do. And I think when it comes to creating a giant ape transformation sequence or just bringing the ape to life in a live action movie, you research baboons and you use that as your template for the movies. Of course, you add stuff, you know, like the Saiyan armor or the the movement to the tail. You know, you do your CGI magic on there, but mostly it's baboons. Though that's the main template that I think majority of the people who do special effects should base it on. That's what I personally think. But nevertheless, let's move off of that as well. Oh God, let me take a water break, folks. Anyways, going back into what I've been talking about previously is 2 sets of phases when it comes to Dragon Ball Z live-action movies. You have your Phase 1, which I've mentioned before, which should be, and this is if you're doing DBZ, of course. It's Saiyan Saga through Frieza Saga. Your Frieza Saga. And you end it there. Second phase is your your Android to Cell Saga. Those are your 2 bases of a 2-set series of movies that if you were capable of accomplishing, you do it. And I know a lot of people may think this is kind of dumb or kind of like pointless, but I think the best way to do this is to add along a good monologue to everything. I don't know why, but I keep wanting this desire to have a narration with every set of movies. I don't know why, but I don't know. Like, wouldn't it just be fun to have a narrator like talk about shit at the beginning and end of every fucking movie and kind of make it feel like if it's like a recreation of the anime? I don't know why, but I feel that way. Like, wouldn't it just tell me, guys, all you hardcore DBZ fans, if you went to the theater to see the next Dragon Ball movie, the gang is going into space to find the Dragon Balls in Namek. That's the movie. Wouldn't it be cool to like have a narration? You know, the beginning, you have the narrator. You have Kyle Hebert fucking is like, you know, at the end of the movie, he's like, next time on Dragon Ball Z, you know? Wouldn't that just be fun? I don't know why, but for some reason, I have this desire to have that in a live-action franchise. I don't know why. But besides that, I also would like to have post-credit scenes, or mid to post-credit scenes. Because, like, I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be cool to have an open ending to every phase? You know, with the exception of the Cell Saga. I thought it would be interesting to be like, okay, well, at the ending of the Frieza Saga, Goku defeats Frieza, Namek explodes, everybody thinks Goku died in the explosion, but then, you know, everything goes back to normal, Gohan has his normal life again, Piccolo stays on Earth to protect Gohan, you know, Earth is in perfect balance once again. Then, this is all, of course, just speculation, people. I'm just ranting here, but riffing, if you will. But basically, after that, the credits start to roll. You have the credits halfway in. You have Gohan. You have a spaceship. This is just something that I'm riffing on. Of course, you could do that, but these are just examples. Spaceship lands, it's a space pod. It's a Saiyan space pod. It opens up, you don't see anything, it's all very eerie, you know, it's very ominous. And then a character comes out. You don't know who it is, it could be anybody, but then you have a close-up of the character's face and it's Goku. Boom! You find out Goku survived, yes, Goku's alive, and we're gonna have a new movie, and that's gonna be awesome. And then, you know, like, you know, you stick around, the credits are still rolling, you're like, oh fuck, man, this movie was awesome, it made my year, the summer's just fucking badass, you know, you're whatever you're thinking in the movie theater, I don't know what you're thinking. But anyways, and then the credits end, and then the last credit scene, this is what I would do personally, to set up Phase 2, which would be Android's Cell Sagas. This is what I would do. At the end, you have... It's raining. You're in the Rocky Mountains or in the valley. It's raining, it's dark, lightning's going crazy, there's fucking tons of crazy nonsense happening. Something appears out of nowhere, and it's, you know what? It's not a spaceship, it's a time machine. And no, it's not Trunks, it's a creature. And the creature crawls out of the fucking time machine and buries himself under the earth to sleep. And you know who that fucking person is? Cell. Yes, setting up the main villain of Phase 2, which would be Cell. Yes, that's how you do it. And that's what I would personally do. I don't know about the Goku one, because I know how much you guys don't like it, but I don't know. For some reason, I just feel he should die after Frieza Saga. But if you were gonna do a phase 2, you could bring him back, and plus, obviously, set up Cell, and that's what I personally do. Cell is a very amazing character. He's a class favorite with all of the DBZ fans. He's obviously a lot of people's favorite villain. And I think that's a good way to set up Cell. So people can be like, when they leave the theater, they're going to be like, oh shit, they're going to be doing Cell next. That means they're going to do the androids, and fuck, I can't wait till fucking the next movie. That's what you should do. That's what I personally do, so I don't know. That's something to consider. Take it to consideration, folks. But nevertheless, I think that's pretty much it. I've pretty much talked about everything. And also, let me end it with androids. A quick little segue to end this quick segment of live action franchise. The androids. For some reason, I just feel it would be appropriate to have more than several androids in the movie. Okay, you come back, Trunks is there, you have the new character Trunks, everybody's going crazy. Oh yeah, Trunks! Yeah, awesome. He sets out the stages for phase 2. Boom, Goku, you're gonna die. Here's your fucking medicine. Everybody's gonna die except for Gohan and me. And the androids gonna destroy the Earth. You gotta fucking do it. Boom. Shit start rolling. Everybody's training, and then the day comes, 1 year later, everybody's like, psyched, we're gonna take on the androids. And you know what? Instead of 2, which is obviously 20 and 19, you know what? You have fucking android army. Fucking Red Ribbon Army references all over the place. Not to mention you have, like, fucking hardcore Michael Bay shit happening, but cool and not sucky like him. But you know what I'm saying? You just have lots of crazy, awesome stuff, and you film in a city, big city, I don't know, New York, Chicago, whatever the fuck, Hong Kong if you want, I don't care. Just go there, film shit tons of awesome content going down. Android army all over the place. Goku flying in the air trying to get the androids out of the fucking city. Everybody's fighting androids. That's just a thought that I thought up of not too long ago that I personally think would be pretty badass if to start off the new movies with full-on android armada, fucking killing bitches. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just whatever. But that's gonna be it. I'm gonna end this quite well, not short. I mean, like, I've been talking for practically half an hour, folks. But essentially, this is going to be the ending of my part 6 of my segment, making a Dragon Ball live action franchise. I really hope everyone enjoyed the specifics of what I got to talk into. But of course, in the comment section below, I want you guys to tell me what you thought about everything I had to say. Did you agree or disagree with anything I had to say? What are your personal thoughts on what should happen in a DBZ live action franchise, or a Dragon Ball live action franchise, of course? And, of course, subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. And you know what? Next section will be the last section. Yes, I will be ending this segment with next month's, if you will, segment. So I hope everybody tunes in to my channel to check that out, because it's been a real good, fun ride to do this stuff. But you know what? All good things must come to an end. But that doesn't mean it's going to end forever, but I'll get into that, next time. So that's going to be it. I hope everyone enjoyed, and this has been John 12.